Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is so exciting. This will be our first, it's not our first retail roundtable, but it is our first retail roundtable based on a concept or a theme that's happening across. I'm sure everyone saw it on the gift at the gift shows, which is Mahjong. So welcome, Jamie Carl from Sarah and Jane, Misty Stachel. Am I saying your last name right?
Stachel.
Stachel of 85 Local, who these guys have both been on the podcast before. Jamie, I think this is your third time.
I think it's my fourth.
Fourth time, I love. And Emily Butler, who's brand new, who is from a store that I've become obsessed with, which is Lewis. So say hello to everybody. And I'm going to give everyone a little bit of a chance to reintroduce themselves and tell a little, like catch everybody up who you are. Let's start with Jamie.
Thank you. I'm not getting any better at this, even though this is my fourth time. So I apologize. So I own Surgeon Jane. We're located in Edina, right outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota. We are a three-story lifestyle store. We carry women's apparel accessories on the main floor, men's vinyl records, home, vintage home right now, as well as home and gifts on the second floor. And then right now we have kids, pets, and our mahjong parlor on our lower level, which is where I'm at right now. But you don't really get the vibe of the mahjong down here. I realize with how I'm sitting, but this is where we're hosting our mahjong events in the evenings. So I can give you a quick tour later if you want to. But
Yes.
thank you for having me back.
I'm so excited. I mean, for everyone's listening, I know you've heard Jamie's interview before, but we actually flew to your store to walk through and videotape it. And I will still say this, say it a million times. The store is like amazing. And the fact that you built it from the ground up is is incredible. But the bathrooms, I'm still obsessing about the bathrooms. Like,
No one ever talks about the bathrooms.
it's
You
three
might be the
bathrooms,
only one
right?
that appreciates the
I'm
bathrooms.
sorry, but the wallpaper and each one has its own vibe. The
Thank
wallpaper
you.
is so good. So, I mean, I see retail all day, every day. So, it's a bathroom that apparently really gets me excited.
Well, and they all tell a story. I probably don't tell the stories enough of the bathrooms, but they do tell a story, and you're probably the only one that got to hear it. So that
Uh,
might be the special appreciation of the bathrooms. But
so people have a chance, go to YouTube. It's so good. It's so amazing. It's my first, I think it was the first one we go there before or after Nathan. It was the first one.
first one, I think. Yeah.
So you hear me trip up a lot. You hear me interrupt myself a lot, which is tends to what I do.
Not at all. It was fantastic.
It
I
was so,
want you to come back anytime.
I so want to go back. That's definitely a plan. Misty.
All right, I'm Misty. I'm the owner of 85 Local. We have over 25 local makers. I think we're close to 40 local makers in our store, and we fill in the rest. So I don't have three stories. I have 1,200 square feet of love, and it is so much fun. And we do events and classes and I recently had a customer come in and they're like, so where is the Mahjong? I'm like, oh, it's on our roof. It's rooftop. No, just kidding. Everything we do, we move everything around the store so we can have these
Wow.
fun events. So we're moving stuff all the time lately right now.
Wow. So you clear the whole place out wow, that's incredible. That's a lot of work.
It is, but it's like we're trying to like put things now where it makes it less we have to move around because I still want you to shop when you come. So I want it to be shoppable, but I also need to make space for tables and yeah.
And we'll get into more of the details because I'm already like wanting to ask you questions like slow your roll, sister. Emily, please introduce yourself. And because you've never been on the podcast, please give everyone a bit of a background on you. We are going to interview you later, so everyone will be able to hear more details, but this will be the Reader's Digest version.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. My name is Emily Butler. I am the co-owner, along with my twin sister, Amber Karson, of the All Lewis store, which is a 152-year-old general store in San Luis Obispo, California. So we're halfway between San Francisco and LA, right on the 101 freeway. It's a charming little town. If you haven't been, highly recommend it. We are honored to be stewards of this amazing building. It's the namesake of a Chinese immigrant that came to the United States and was really responsible for organizing a lot of the Chinese labor that helped build this part of California, the railroads, the
Oh,
piers. And it's one of three buildings that remains of our historic Chinatown district. So we have had the honor of being stewards now for 9 years. We kind of fell into retail. My sister and I are event planners. We have a hospitality brand called Karson Butler Hospitality Company. The All Louis store is one of two of our retail shops. We just opened a small little shop at the San Luis Obispo airport called the All Louis Store Outpost this past
amazing.
November. Yeah, so I kind of fell into retail. And I'm excited to tell the full story of our hospitality driven brand. But we do a lot in the event space as well. And in the retail side of our business, the All Louis store, we sell everything from greeting cards, wine baskets, and then Mahjong is obviously a newer category for us. We brought it in last fall and it's been amazing. We have built a lot of fun workshops. I've started the Mahjong Social Club, which I know we'll dive in a little bit more here. And I have an in-house instructor now, but we've been selling tile sets and lots of Mahjong accessories for several months now, but it's just getting started here in California. And we're really excited to see this category grow in our brand.
That makes so much sense because the exterior of your building is so rad. I mean, the building itself, but the fact with all the Chinese lanterns, and I couldn't figure out is that there are those there
Well,
all year
it's
long?
for lunar. It's not there all year long. So we do two really big displays. So we're really known for our Christmas display. We close for about 2 to 3 weeks and we transform our store into more of a holiday shop. So we have nutcrackers and singing door greeters, and it's a whole thing in itself. And then Lunar New Year is another huge category that we invest a lot in the outside of our building. So we bring in our professional rigging crew, we buy all of that decor, and then it'll come down and we'll have giant Easter bunnies here in a couple of weeks and
Oh my
spring 8 foot
God.
flowers and all the fun things. So we don't do a full transformation year round on the outside of our building, but Christmas and Lunar New Year are the two biggest ones from the outside.
What an amazing history. So is Mahjong originated in China? Is it a Chinese social game, correct, for women?
Yes, it's been around for generations and generations. It's a beautiful tile game that originated in China. There's lots of different types of traditional mahjong. There's Taiwanese mahjong, Chinese mahjong, Szechuan mahjong. There's Japanese Richi mahjong, and then American mahjong, which was developed in the 20s or 30s. And girls help me jump in. And it's a beautiful. There's lots of different versions of the game, and American Mahjong is what a lot of buzz lately that you've been seeing is the American Mahjong version, which is
Wow.
plays based on the National Mahjong League card.
Okay, as I said before, in watching, for me going to the show with Lucy's and knowing they had this one group of women, we bought it just for that store. But in the back of my head, I was like, I mean, because there's so much cute Mahjong stuff, like the clear pouches. And I mean, like everyone from, I'm trying to remember who some of the brands are that had it, but everyone had a bit of Mahjong. And it's just like pickleball, but there's a tie-in that I love that creates community and events that I'm assuming creates add-on sales. If correct me if I'm wrong.
Definitely.
So sorry, this is going to be
Yeah.
so bad. So we started looking at this, then I really started kind of looking back through a lot of your posts and looking at a lot of your stories. And the three of you have really done an amazing job with it. And each of them feels differently, especially the Mahjong parlor is like next level. But Misty, with your boot camp, like take me through the process of how you guys kind of started. Did you dabble in it a little bit, or how did you grow this business? And since I just mentioned Missy's boot camp class, tell me how you kind of put your foot in the door of it.
Okay, so just to go back a little bit, how many markets ago? Not this past January, but the January before that, I went to Dallas Market and I was like, it was clear Mahjong was the game that was coming. Like, not that it hadn't been here, but it was getting a resurgence. And I said to my friends, I'm like, this is the game. I kind of want to learn it. And I was looking for an activity to do for my birthday that wasn't the same. Let's go to dinner. Let's do this. So I ended up having a Mahjong party at my house for my birthday where we hired an instructor and she came in and she taught us how to play Mahjong. And we've been playing since April. And we play all the time. We love it. We're trying to get more people into it. So then this past market, I went, oh my God, it is everywhere. It
Hmm.
is literally everywhere. Every floor, someone's selling tiles, someone's selling this. And I just said, no one's doing it on my side of town. And I love this game. And so I'm going to go all in. So before I left market, I had found an instructor that I wanted that I knew that would get people playing on their first try. That's a whole other
No,
conversation.
you had to tell that story.
Okay, okay. Okay, so like for my own birthday, like the instructor was great, but like we weren't going to play the game on our first lesson. I'm like, wait a minute, it's my birthday. They just gifted me a set of Mahjong tiles, and you're telling me I'm not gonna get to play with it after? So after a lot of drinks and soul searching, we talked her into letting us play a game. So when I found an instructor for my store, I wanted it to be where you learn the game and you at least play one game before you leave so that you can go home and you can play on the apps. It's not like you're not a professional Mahjong player after you leave one lesson. Like you need guided play, you need other things after that, but like to get it going so that you know like exactly kind of the rules because there's a lot of them.
Was she the first instructor that was like, no, 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 we're gonna ease into this. We're gonna do a couple. And I love your story. You're like, no, sister, we're playing tonight. Like it's my birthday. We're playing tonight. Is it because I mean because I'll be honest, from a person that is ADD, like it looks terrifying. Like all the just the tiles alone. Like I did a display for Dee Marie, and it's because she put out a Mahjong slushy pack, and I thought it was so cute and it was all pinks and everything. So I went and found a tile set on eBay on Yahoo or Yahoo on Amazon. And it was so cute. And I literally am buying it because it's so cute. But I get it out and I'm opening it up because I'm filling martini glasses with the tiles. And I'm like, holy shit. Like it is intimidating. There is so much. So like how many lessons did your first instructor want to give you before you had play?
I think it would have been three total.
Oh my God, my
There's a,
ADD.
yeah, there's a lot of instruction. There's different models of the instruction. In our area, there's a few different instructors, and you sign up for a series of like a pack of three, and you're committing to three 2 hour or 2.5 hour lessons, and you're breaking it down in bite-sized nuggets. And I always say, let's meet people where they are, and we are not that. We are a 2.5 hour Mahjong 101 instruction. You're gonna learn the tiles, but you want to start playing. I totally agree with you, Misty. It was really important to me as well. Sometimes people don't have 3 Saturdays to commit to. They want to do a one and done, and then they're hooked and they want to come back and do a Mahjong 102 or an open play night. But there are different instruction methods out there, and there's not to say that's like there's a wrong or a right method. I think it's finding that right instructor for you as a retailer that's going to be a good fit. And then there's just lots of different neurotypes out. And so Mahjong for my sister is just way too overwhelming. And she's an observer. So she'll sit and she'll watch our open play nights. And that's really important for us too, because it is an overstimulating game. And so you're not going to be an expert after the first one. And that's always something that we try to point out too. It's okay if it's too much, but I will say it looks more overwhelming than it is. It's actually pretty, if you like card games, if you like board games, you'll love it.
I'm very good at the memory game. That's about it. And that's because of having to do merchandising where it's like half your shipment is over here, the other half is over there. And I'm walking around like, I know I saw it somewhere. I'm like, oh yeah. So I've become very good at the memory game, but that's about it.
You'll be great.
The lady that is doing your classes now, how long is your boot camp class?
It's 2.5 hours. So I have them booked out through May, but through this process, I'm taking over. I've started putting class. I'm going to be hosting my first boot camp actually next week. It's a
Wow.
game I play. It just seems like the natural thing for me to do it since I love the game, I play it, and I can be there and do it. So they have been great. And maybe now and then I'll have them sprinkle in if I want to have more and I can't facilitate them. But yeah, that's kind of how we're moving.
Okay, that makes sense. Jamie, how do you structure yours?
So I think I got into it late because I wasn't really I didn't play Mahjong until we started, and we didn't start carrying the stuff until fall this year. And it wasn't my idea. It was a neighbor of mine that she developed her own Mahjong brand.
Oh,
Um, yeah, she's a real entrepreneur. But she brought the idea to me and said, I don't know if you know about Mahjong, but Mahjong has been very hard to buy because you have to buy it online. And she said, and I think there's a flaw in that. Like people want to touch the tiles, people want to see the mats. So she was starting the brand and came to me and said, is this something that you would be interested in helping me? Would you carry it so that I can get some feedback? And I had brought in napkins and socks and things like that, that that I had been seeing the Mahjong trend, but I didn't know anything about. So she was really trying to, her brand is Mahjong Montage. And she's just getting started. So for any retailers that are listening, I would highly recommend partnering with her because she's got fantastic designs and we're really learning as we go. But she brought the idea to me and said, and I think we should use your lower level for classes. And I was like, whoa, like it's October. I am busy. Like that's my sale area after holiday. Like, let's give me a minute. So I signed up to carry the product because I wanted to see how it did through holiday. And slowly that first week, people were coming in and I was like, oh God, all right, this is something. So we, in
I love the
January,
reaction.
yeah, I was not into it. I will be honest. I was like, I don't love board games, kind of like you, Michelle. I don't love board games. I don't love card games. I don't feel like I can focus when I'm in the store. I feel like I have 100 things to do. Um, but I was like, okay, these women are into it. And they were buying the tiles because they could actually, I mean, her philosophy was right. Jackie's philosophy was right, that people want to see it and they want to touch it and they don't want to order it online. And another thing about online orders is they're not returnable. Once you buy them, they're final sale. So we have carried that through, but we also have open sets that you can feel the tile, the weight of the tile. Um, so she had a brilliant idea. And then when I saw that first week, we had sold like 14 sets, I think.
Wow.
Um, yeah.
What's
Um,
the cost of a set? They're not in.
so we were selling them for $295 through the holidays, but they retail for 400. So that was also a big thing, is that we just wanted to see how many tiles we could move for holiday gifting. Um,
And you sold
so
14 at four something?
at $295.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So that's when I was like, okay, like let's try this. And knowing Minneapolis, in the winter, in January, February, March are tough retail months for everybody, but really in Minnesota, they're really tough retail months. So I was like, let's do it. So in December, we decided we got our January schedule going and people were calling and we were like, all right, this is going to work. So we do a 5 to 6, a 1 hour sip shop and socialize, where we keep people hopefully upstairs on the women's floor. And then 6 to 8, we do lessons. But Jackie brought me the lesson. She brought me Sarah, who does our lessons exclusively. And Sarah is in it. Like we go hard. We do 2 hours and we are definitely playing a game before you leave. You may not finish the game, but she keeps it rolling and she keeps people engaged. And it's not a lot of socializing at 6 o'clock. Like we start and she runs through the tiles and it's been really good because it seems like it's quiet for about an hour. And then all of a sudden people start getting lively. And the longer we go, the more loud it gets down here. So people either think they get Mahjong and they're yelling they got Mahjong when they really haven't, or
That's my favorite.
it just gets wild as it keeps going. But
And are there cocktails involved?
oh yes. So the first hour they're getting, and we did dry January, so we had mocktails available, but We just did our first open play for Galentine's. I probably shouldn't share this, but since we're not allowed to serve alcohol, but for our first Galentine's event, we did 16 people and we went through 10 bottles of Prosecco, rosé, and white wine. So
Party.
they were ready to party. Yeah. And they had a really good time. I think everyone left with a Mahjong prize. And because one table had 4 Mahjongs, but it was the same person that won all 4 times. And she was giving out gifts, like, because we let them pick gift bags whenever they won. And she was like giving everyone at her table a gift.
Oh my God, that's so, I love that. And then I've again, like I have more questions that we're going to get into, and I keep wanting to ask them, but I want Emily, tell us, like, how did you start this? I mean, you kind of alluded to it, but a little bit, give us a little more detail.
Yeah, my neighbors have been playing for decades, and I learned last summer. And actually, 2 years ago, we brought back our Lunar New Year block party, and we had people playing Mahjong in our parking lot. It was just beautiful. And I'd been thinking about it for a while. We're in California and it's just starting to take off in California. My friends that are retailers in the South have been selling Mahjong and playing Mahjong for years. And in New York, I have friends that have been playing for forever as well. And so I'm excited, but I'm still kind of new. We brought in Oh My Mahjong line in the fall and had our first class in we have an entertaining parlor, which is where I am now, in a garden space, just a couple doors down from the shop in a historic adobe right across from the Mission. So it's a really great, easy geographically from the store space. So we've had this for a while, but we just started opening it up for our own workshops, and it's been a great space. So we had our first workshop in September, kind of learned how the garden worked and what changes we wanted to make. And so we made some changes to our garden to make it more usable for workshops. And then we just kind of relaunched our workshop series a couple of months ago. So we have had a handful of Mahjong 101 and 102 workshops, and I have one this Saturday. And we also started a Mahjong social club, which is more of like a membership club where you get first access to any workshops that we have because they were selling out so fast, and then also a discount to the store for the entire year. And then you get complimentary access to our open play nights. We have about 3 to 4 per month. And if you're a member of the Mahjong Social Club, then you have complimentary access to those open play nights, or no pressure. You can always pay a drop-in fee if you're a guest or if you just want to try it out before you commit to being part of the club. So it's been a really fun. We just launched that about a month ago. So that's brand new, but it's been wonderul.
The space that you're sitting in is amazing. I'm just looking at that table,
Gorgeous.
the lights and
Oh,
on the wall. My God,
I'm a little, we got a lot of rain here in California a couple weeks ago. And so I have like random card tables in here that are normally outside, but my girlfriends and I are playing tonight, so I have my little table
oh my
set
God,
up in the back, which it's been so fun. It's been a little bit challenging I was afraid as someone that plays Mahjong for my social reset, making it now kind of a work thing. And so I'm trying to make sure that I'm balancing where it still is fun and enjoyable for me and not just one more thing that I have to manage and tackle. So I think that's like a realistic topic for
yeah.
retailers if you want to jump into this. Um, it's really fun and it's beautiful, the community that we're building. We need connection more than ever before, and I think that's the gift that we get to give as shop owners. But it's becoming, it's becoming a big snowball. That's then you want to stay on top of all the new titles that are coming out and the new mat drop that's happened yesterday. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've done 3 new orders this week because of things that my customers want or that I want. And so it's a lot of work, but it's been super rewarding. But I'm still trying to make time for my own play nights with my girlfriends that are not
Good. You keep
open.
your own practice,
Yeah.
versus becoming
Yeah.
a business. I have a question because we all know Barbara from Daisy's, who I absolutely love, and she built her classroom down below her store. And in her classroom, she's had all these people that have brands come in and do workshops. And then she's been really smart in the sense of, like, I forget, she had somebody do a mantelscape. and she sold all of their products. So she had all of their products right there so you could purchase it. Do you, since your Mahjong parlor is different, do you have all the products to buy there, or do people start in your store and walk down the street to the Mahjong parlor? Like, how do you, with the merchandise you sell, how are you doing it? Is it nearby where you're playing, or
Is that a question for me?
for all of you, for you, Emily, right now, since you're
Yeah, we have it in our store. So we have a whole table and a Mahjong section and a little card table that has a full set. We have a pretty small footprint, so it does get a little tricky. If I could build out a whole Mahjong floor or wall, I would love to. But we have to, it's been a little bit of a challenge, but I think now we have a good corner of the store dedicated to Mahjong. But it's not something that they shop. It's kind of two separate things. They get to have a discount the day of their workshop, and so they can shop before or after their workshop. But I don't have. I did try, but quite honestly, when you're brand new, you're not spending. The Oh My Mahjong sets are $400 retail sets, and then the mat. So you're spending about $600 to $800 investment to get started on a beautiful set, and you don't even know if you like this game. You're so overwhelmed. So I find that people actually come back and buy the Mahjong tile sets after
you
their
play the
first
game?
class.
I find it hilarious because I thought the Mahjong tile set I bought for display at $49 was a lot. And now I'm hearing the totals. I'm like, yeah, that would not have flown for a prop. Jamie, how about you? Do you have your product? Because I see the Mahjong pillow and stuff like that
Yeah.
behind. So you have it down near your play area.
Yeah. So for holiday, we had it upstairs because we wanted people to know that we were carrying it. And down here was our holiday gifting. So we left all of the Mahjong up. And then in January, when we built the parlor out down here, we moved it all down here. So you can't see it, but it's all in boxes and stuff behind me. Um, and she's got a tortoise set coming, and she's got the acrylic set coming. And so we'll kind of section it off a little bit better when we get more of the pieces. She's been delayed because of the tariffs and Chinese New Year. And but it's really pretty. Her boxes and stuff are really pretty. So we just added it with some of the stuff that we had down here for holiday gifting. But it is all right here when people are playing. But they also, we've had the same experience as Emily, that people come for their lesson and they don't typically buy the tiles that night. They come back. And we do a discount too, that if you've taken a lesson, that you get a discount on the tiles. And then we've also had people kind of like you, Michelle, that have the cheaper sets. And then once they play with our tiles at the lesson, then they want to upgrade to the nicer tiles, and they are committing to it. Like they know that they want to continue to play. We've had a really interesting conversation about it, that like, we want people to play here where we're providing everything. But we also want them to purchase the tiles so that they're playing on their own. So we hope people are becoming addicted enough to it that they're doing both, right? That they're playing open play with us, where we're providing everything once a month, and then also maybe playing with their girlfriends every week and taking turns hosting, because it's also the hosting piece of it that make you want to have the expensive tiles and the beautiful tablecloths and the glassware that all matches it. So we are trying to build the balance of leaning into the entertaining piece on your own, and also enjoying the time off and just playing here with fun with girlfriends for fun.
So with all of the products, I mean, because obviously what you're selling are you're tangibly using those. So now,
Yeah.
In the gift world, looking at the Maj, I think I did a sweatshirt that says Maj on it. And I think we did some like easy giftable stuff. And I don't even know, to be honest, like as we're talking about this, if this is something, because there's the rhinestone wine glasses mud pie did, which were really cute. And then, Talking Out of Turn did the Maj sweatshirt, and they did a group. And so there's a lot of like really cute products, but it's not like you're buying it to use it. Are you purchasing these items as well as just like cute add-ons to just continue telling the story? all of you guys.
I think too, like as more and more people play, we're going to have a great opportunity for the birthday gifts. You're not going to buy maybe a girlfriend a $400 tile or a $300 tile set, but you might pick up, a little card holder that carries your cards or a line finder, like shufflers. These are all great gifts that are, beautiful for that Mahjong player. So I think there is a big opportunity in retail. There's great little notepads. Everything it doesn't have to be a mat or a tile set, but a mat's also a great gift under 100. So if you do have a starter set, that's a great way to add that really fun pop of color and maybe use a set that you've already have or it's been in your family. Those are great opportunities for retailers that maybe don't have the footprint or don't have the bandwidth to bring a whole Mahjong program into their store. There's still a lot of gifting, I think, especially here on the West Coast where it's just starting. The boom is just starting here.
So Misty, do you sell like the add-on stuff like the glassware and like the more giftables, not something you're actually going to use in play?
I definitely sell giftables. So once I sold out the first boot camp in less than 2 days before I was even back from Dallas, I had like an all message to my vendors that was like, you guys better get on this Mahjong train like now. And so they're bringing in cups, candles, earrings, magnets,
Because you're
just
dealing with all local stuff. It's not like you're, calling up Mud Pie and like, hey, I need more. Like you're dealing with makers.
yeah, well, for a little bit of both, but I have makers and I want them to have the success and the opportunity. And I see a need. And so I'm like, if you can get it in here, you're probably going to sell it. And so like we have hats, shirts, sweatshirts. So a little bit of everything.
I guess my next question would be when you're doing these, how are you, so how, I guess, what would be the best piece of advice you would give everyone on how to start this small way in their stores if they've already purchased the product or if they haven't yet? Like how do you go about kind of starting the conversation or starting an event or, some of the things that you're doing?
I don't know. I just go for it, find an instructor and do an event and see what your turnout is. And if people want more, mine sold out so fast. I'm literally getting phone calls, text messages, emails, any way people can get a hold of me every day. When are you doing your next class? When are you doing it? So I feel like just starting with an event with it, you would know very quickly if your community is on board.
So are you putting it out on social media or are you throwing it out through emails?
Both, but I usually start social media and then go to email.
And just kind of drip water on it, like, hey, we're thinking about doing this. Who's in?
Yeah,
Interesting. I mean, the boot camp, but that's great. Like to be able to sell it out in 2 days. What was the cost to do the boot camp?
75.
Wow, so it's not inexpensive, but it's like it's great. And how many people did you cap it at?
16.
That's great. Jamie,
Yeah, it was really good. And also 75, I felt like was for my area kind of on the lower end because when I was looking again for my birthday, they were over $100 and they want you to do multiple lessons. And so I've only had a little bit of feedback where someone was like $75 to learn a game. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. We're not learning Uno over here. Like
so,
it's a lot.
so Jamie, tell me how you started and then Emily, how you guys price it out. And then I'm going to ask a little bit more questions on what's involved.
So we price our lessons at $50 a lesson. So maybe it sounds like we should increase that, but we do $50 for a lesson and then $25 a person for open play. We only do 12 people for lesson nights and 16 for open play, but we are hoping to do it on the rooftop as it warms up.
I love that, Eric. That's what a great space for that.
And we have more room up there. I don't know how big we want it to get. We're going to see. We're going to start hopefully our first lessons when the weather warms up and we can get up there and be comfortable up there for 2 hours. But the $50 price point has been good for us. And we make it non-refundable because obviously if you don't have 12 people, we have enough people here between our staff and our coach that if we need an extra body, we can fill it in. But we also do a wait list. We do 4 people on the wait list. where we don't charge them but we have gone to the wait list almost every week. And knock on wood, we haven't had any issues filling those spots. So, but we did make it non-refundable out of the gate that like, if you're signing up for this, we will refund it if we can get a wait list, if we can get somebody on the wait list. But if not, then we do need to compensate our coach, our instructor. But I also started with the gifting stuff. So like I said, I was doing the socks and the because I didn't know enough about it, but I was doing socks and napkins. And so even that was a really easy way to be like, oh, okay, people were buying them for gifts. But there was enough interest in it, and having those up on the main floor really kind of led people to a conversation. So if they were picking up the Mahjong socks, I would say, oh, are you playing Mahjong? And they're like, oh, I'm buying these for my mom, or I'm buying these for my best friend. So that was a really easy way to kind of start the conversation and to kind of figure out that like, oh, and then, like I said, Jackie brought it to me, but that we were already hearing about it just from our gifting items. And then that's when we really got into like the entertaining piece of it was when we did the tiles, we did the whole thing, like the racks, and we're still waiting on our mats, but Jackie brought in as much as she could before the holidays to offer the complete assortment.
Okay.
So we leaned into it really quickly.
Emily, how did you?
So we started in the fall, and there was not a local instructor that had the format that we wanted to. So I brought in someone from out of the area, and I've since done a couple guest instructors. We just had Nicole from Carmel by the Sea, who is a hoot. So if you're in the Bay Area, like definitely, she was so fun. We'll definitely have her back. But now we have Carla, our in-house instructor, who's someone that I've been playing Mahjong with. It's really exciting to have that in-house help to be able to staff the open play nights and things. But I will say that we charge $85 for our Mahjong 101 class, and most of that is going to the instructor. And so from the ROI, as far as the classes, you're really hoping that it's just building that community, keeping the customer coming back into your store, telling their friends and family. That's the ROI that I am excited to see. Because of course, to have all the beautiful tile sets for our open play, it's an investment to the business owner. So far it looks like it's headed in the right direction, but I'm excited for this next year as we continue to kind of grow Mahjong to see where the numbers shake out.
I was going to ask, is that because I'm sure people are like, so if I hire what's an average cost of somebody to hold, like to teach or to, the host?
I would say most of the instructors are charging somewhere between $50 to $65 probably
For the
per
night or hour?
per
Or
person.
okay.
Yeah.
So times 16.
Yeah. And then it depends. Are they bringing the card tables? Like we're schlepping the chairs. We're putting the heater. I'm paying for the heaters for the gas for my heaters, the drinks, the snacks. All of that is, if I'm hiring someone or a staff member to come in early to stay an extra hour to help clean up, those are all real costs that need to be evaluated. And that goes with any workshop. So this isn't news for anyone that's listening that's already doing a workshop model. It is just something to think about, that it does take a bit of setup. What I have learned with working with multiple different instructors, everyone has a little differently. And that's, who's doing the legwork as far as bringing in all the equipment. It's nice.
That's a good point. So yeah, I would say like, because I always think about like, okay, so because a lot of people are not event based, and I think a lot of people want to do this, and that's why it's like with some of these questions is because, I mean, even myself, it's like, how would we start this at Lucy's, which we're a restaurant and we've got tables everywhere, but it's daunting thinking about like, okay, all the things you have to, if you weren't in a restaurant and you need tables for you, heaters, an extra staff person. So with the person that is going to play either open play or part of the workshop, part of part of that $75 or whatnot that they're paying is like, so snacks and drinks are part of it, the instructor, and then all the additional labor elements that you need to do. So is it profitable at this point, or is it right now still kind of for a lot of you like, okay, we're testing it and the profit is really in the product?
I would say for me, If I'm having someone come in, it's probably more on the break even, not profitable because I'm not really getting that ticket price. But me teaching the classes is a better solution for it to be profitable. I mean, they're coming in and a lot of them are shopping, or eventually if they love the game, they're going to come back and they're going to buy that or they're going to buy other things. But it doesn't always work out in the moment. So you're kind of chasing months down the road to see if that works out.
Jamie, same.
Yeah, I would say it feels profitable. I haven't really dug into the numbers, but just high level, I'm keeping track of what I'm spending, on alcohol and on snacks and what I'm paying my instructor. But I did spend on the tables and the chairs. And then if we look at doing the rooftop, do I need to double my investment on that? So it's probably more of a wash than profitable, but it's getting traffic in our stores in January and February.
Big.
And that's a huge win, especially everything that Minnesota is going through right now.
Yeah.
People just were not leaving their homes. And this really felt like a community. It definitely felt like we were giving people a way to breathe for about 3 hours, once a week. And it definitely felt like it was the right thing. It just fell into my lap, but at the same time, it felt like it was meant to be because the community that we've created on these Thursday nights, just, I don't know what I would have been doing without it, because it is driving traffic in the stores, and it's driving a lightness in the stores where people are getting together and, not thinking about things that are going on outside right now. So I think it has been a win for us. And like I said, high level numbers, it's been good. But if I dig down to how much I spent on the chairs and how much I spent on the tables,
It
it
might be
might be more.
a longer game, but I feel like
Yeah.
the community aspect, especially people have never been to your stores before and they find out about this and all of a sudden it's like, I had no idea this was here. And it's like,
Yeah.
I think that traffic part of it, and that's, what I've always loved about in-house events but I've never been part of a establishment that has had a successful run of continued events that create community like this is doing. And that's, I
Yeah.
think, why from the outside watching this and looking at like how fun it looks, and then you add in the element of, there's products to sell, with it. So if somebody's listening to this right now, what would you suggest that are mandatory purchases they need to make in order to have this, whether it be the chairs and tables or the sets or whatnot? So give everyone kind of like a short laundry list of non-negotiables that you need to start something like this. Misty?
I definitely say card tables is a big one. I actually just heard about at an open play event at my store where these ladies went to Postino's that was hosting a Mahjong night, and they said it was not a good experience because they put them at one long table, the music was loud, and it was just not what they were looking for. And it's just best played on that card table with four chairs.
So it's four people that play together. Usually, is that how the game is? And it's groups of four that you need multiple tables for. Okay. So that helps. Jamie, what would you be in your non-negotiables?
I would agree. And we researched really, Jackie and I together, I was really strategic about, I want to control the tables. I want to control the chairs, because it's me and my staff that's going to be setting them up every week and tearing them down every week. And, but we came to a great partnership where our instructor brings all of the product that we need to play with. So if you have an instructor in the area, chances are they have the product. So I was like, I'll take care of the tables and chairs. And I need to work through this. I was like, I'm going to take a day and I'm going to set the lower level and I'm going to figure out what of my fixtures can I move every week? What of my fixtures can I not move every week? And we kind of built it in parts, right? I set up the tables and I tore down the tables and I set up the tables again. And, but that maybe just is my events background too, is that I needed it to work like a well-oiled machine, every Thursday night, cause I don't want my staff here, and I don't want to be here 2 extra hours setting it up or tearing it down. And that that took a lot of time. Like I won't deny that. It took me a full day to get to the point where I was like, I feel good about this setup. I'm not going to have to rearrange this. And I know that I have the luxury of having the space to do it. But I was really intentional about what I would provide, what I knew would work in my space every week, from the drink setup to the food setup, and where it could be every week, so that we're not reinventing the wheel all the time.
Yeah.
But then we agreed that she would bring all of the product every week. So she carries in, like, a big duffel bag, a big Mahjong bag with her racks and her mats. And also she knows my tiles are sorted so that we're only looking at these 16 tiles to start. Like, so she has her process too. But if you can get an instructor that brings it in, I would say that would be a huge help. I feel really fortunate that she's able to do that. And then beyond that, everything else is, we store it here and it stays here, besides what she brings every week. So I would agree that the tables and chairs have been game changers, because I've played with people that have like round tables, and it is really hard to reach the tiles when you're when you're drawing, or and I didn't know that before I started, that it
Yeah.
was really a size thing. But beyond that, I don't know that you would need a lot to start. Like, you wouldn't even have to really carry the product. If you find someone that can bring it in, you wouldn't even have to really invest in it until you see that it's something that your clients and your shoppers are going to vibe with. Like, I don't know that I would have had to have been carrying the tiles, other than like I said, those socks and things were really a way to start it. And we also had signage upstairs that said Mahjong lessons, like, and listed a couple of our dates. So I think just having having it top of mind to talk about also kind of created the buzz around the lessons, that I don't know that you'd have to invest in too much to get going if you just wanted to try the events piece of it.
And you
Emily,
can start
I've seen-
small. You just need
Yeah.
4 people at a table. So maybe you only do 8 for your first time, or you're
Yeah.
borrowing sets from your friends who play. I feel like there's lots of options. I now am the proud owner of 4 sets. Uh, so you just make it what you want it to be.
Yeah.
Emily, what would you be non-negotiables of somebody to start this?
Yeah, from the event side, definitely at your tables and chairs, and then just your staffing plan, I think too. I think making sure that your staff in your store knows how to sell it, because people are going to be calling and they're going to be like, I heard you're doing Mahjong, and you're not
Yeah.
going to always be the person there to answer those questions. So we're doing like, okay, everyone's going to have we're doing a team Mahjong training night where we're all playing so we can all help. You don't have to be an expert, but at least you can talk to it. Everyone at least knows where to direct on our website, our upcoming events, and to talk high level about our Mahjong Social Club.
That is a piece of the puzzle I don't even think I even thought through, of the employee education of it, because that's my biggest peeve of stores, of going in somewhere and asking, and someone saying, I don't know, it's over there. And it's like, I mean, Bob from Whizbang, I'm sure you've heard him speak about employees and the engagement, and having that conversation with your employees, and a knowledgeable conversation is so important. And I think that may be a lot of things as a tripping point for a lot of stores, of like just dropping in, and that I'm saying this because it's going to be my store that is, I'm going to have to make sure that the team is educated. If we roll this out right now, I feel like if it's only one location and it's one group of women that we're and we're not even doing lessons or anything like that, but certainly, for us, with a 3-chain restaurant mainly, and then gift, and there's no salespeople on the floor. I have 2 merchandisers that go from store to store. It's really the team behind the cash wrap, the restaurant side of it. But, getting them trained, or at least giving them a script and understanding. But I think a training thing is so great. Like, I love that. Have you noticed a difference of when customers do call and ask the questions, and having them be educated on it, like the difference of?
Marianne is someone that I played Mahjong with. She actually was an attendee of our first workshop back in the fall, and now she is one of my employees, and she's the Mahjong maven. And
Hmm.
I her her dream is to do a Mahjong podcast. So when I told her that I was on a podcast today talking about Mahjong, I know she's cheering me on. But it's been so lovely to have someone super passionate about Mahjong
Yeah.
on our team, because then that energy is contagious, and she's really excited to share why she likes Mahjong. We also carry a line called Mini Mahjong, and it's a looks like a Monopoly set as far as the shape of the box, but it's everything that you need to get started, to learn the National Mahjong League card. It's great for families. It's great for beginners. It's a $150 starter set, and she plays with that with her kids, and so she can sell that all day long. As far as like, if you're not ready for this investment, let me talk to you about like this product. And for us, the joy that we create with building community, coming into the historic store and seeing it, that's top of mind always. If they buy a greeting card, amazing. If they buy a Mahjong set, fantastic. But that's not it's not the leading indicator of success for us and our brand. And I think that is so important with Mahjong, because it's going to be really overwhelming. People are going to want to look and touch the tiles, and most of the time they're not going to be ready to purchase it. So I think that's just an important piece. Is And I love, Jamie, and kind of what you had said just about creating that sense of joy for people. It is really special how Mahjong kind of makes you concentrate. And for 2.5 hours, you really kind of just stop thinking about the to-do list or all the noise and all of, quite frankly, the sadness that's happening right
Mhm.
now. And what a gift that we can bring to others as retailers, for sure.
God, I love this conversation so much.
I
I
made my, not to interrupt, but you guys have clearly heard that I was not a Mahjong player, and I was really hesitant to start, but I signed up for the first lesson, and then I signed up a month later for Beyond the Basics because I wanted to see how much I could remember also. And I am a true testimony. So my staff is also able to hear me say, "Oh my God, I love it. I'm playing every week with my girlfriends." And same to what Emily said. Like, if you could have your staff do it, my staff probably wouldn't want to come in on a Thursday night because they're here too much. But the one woman that comes in with me every Thursday, she also had already been playing. So she walks around the tables and she helps people, so that was really lucky too, that somebody on my staff actually knew what they were doing. And but I went into it fully like, I'm an attendee. I've never played this game before. And so I'm giving the full testimony. Like when people are calling and asking about it, and I can say, listen, I waited a whole month and I could pick it up. I went back into it and I could do it again. So it's fine if you can't make next week's, Beyond the Basics. So I do think there is something to, Michelle, if your staff is able to learn from a lesson, or like, there is something to being able to speak to it, because I was just a sponge when people were coming in and telling me about the tiles and asking if it's American versus Chinese. And I was like, okay, I have no idea what I have signed up for here. Like, it's our busiest month. It's December and people are asking about Mahjong. And I'm like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? Like, I can't even answer the first easiest question. But I was learning really from people coming in and telling me about the tiles and like how you need the dice to start. And so I had no experience with it. And I think if I could pick it up and I could do it, then that is a really easy story to tell the people that are on the fence about, I don't know if I can learn. I don't know if I want to spend the time. And I'm like, listen, I'm here 50 hours, 60 hours a week, and I can spend, a couple hours playing. And now I'm playing for fun with my girlfriends. Like, anyone can do it. And trust me, it's a good time. Like, that's what I tell people. Like, just try it. Just
I
try
think
it.
for sure for us, Lucia, who's one of the owners, who's like the biggest personality, she will be the one heading this up with the
Yeah.
team. But I think that it's I think that the first place to start would be finding an instructor that that can teach, that has their own tiles to bring in, so you have that person that's going to teach them. And then it sounds like the tables and chairs, and then figuring out labor and where you're going to have host it, because like Misty, it's like moving things around. And Misty, when we talked a while ago, was it you that was asking me, how do I still have my merchandise with clearing my floor? And I think I was like, you should get those big maybe it wasn't you, but you should get those big Metro carts and offload whatever displays, put it on your Metro carts. You can still have the Metro cart somewhere in your store so someone can shop it. And then when
Mm.
you need to put everything back, you just roll the Metro cart up, build your display back up, roll the cart away. I didn't know it that, but I think that's daunting in its own of like, where are we going to host this and being able to go through a setup process of knowing it's fluid and it's easy and it's like one and done and where it's organized and not chaotic. Especially if you're going to do it every week, I think that those are like super good tips for people starting. What are some of your favorite brands? This will be because we're heading into an hour. What are some of your favorite brands to purchase from for each of you that people can look up and at least kind of see what the products are? Jamie?
Well, I think I've already shared Jackie's brand, but I've seen some of her spring summer deliveries and they're incredible. So I would highly recommend Mahjong Montage. And she's not even on fair yet. She's just getting started. But she's got her spring summer coming within the next 4 to 6 weeks. And she would be a really great resource for any of the retailers that are looking for something different, especially if some of the well-known brands are being carried by other retailers in the area. I would highly recommend her.
We'll make
And then
more info in the notes.
Gumball Poodle has a fabulous pair of socks that say these are my lucky Mahjong socks. Those have been
Love those.
fabulous for us. And then I can't remember my napkin brand, but I sell a ton of the like napkins from them that are Mahjong. Like I could have enough napkins to complete a reorder minimum of just Mahjong napkins. I'm trying to think what it is. I don't even have any right now. Actually, I need to probably get some, but I'll get it to you. It's one of the brands that I carry all year round. But they have some really great Mahjong designs that seem to fly out of here.
We'll make sure we have for everybody's suggestions. If you guys, I'm going to ask you now while we're recording is if you can send me in the information and then we'll have links for all this for everybody to just click on. Emily, what are some of your?
Okay, sorry, the mission bells go off before mass every day. So if you're hearing the bells, it's beautiful. We actually have the Bell Society is named after these bells. I think it's just stopping. Sorry, hear those bells?
Love the historical, everything. What year?
Incredible.
We carry Oh My Mahjong is our primary brand that we carry. That's probably one of the leading brands in the American Mahjong space. They're really known for their triple color, beautiful, high quality. I always say it's like the Mercedes or the Cadillac of Mahjong tiles, and they're not for everyone. But once you play on them, you see why they are priced what they are.
Is it a tactile thing? Because you guys keep saying touch and feel. So is the weight? Is it because
I know, like it's
they're so cute. I mean they're fun visually, so they're cute.
They're cute, and yeah, there's something about just the
weight.
Yeah, I don't know. That's our number one brand. I am curious of any other retail shops that are bringing in multiple lines. So we have Mini Major. It's kind of its own thing as well. And that's geared towards kind of education. It's almost like a golf handicap. They have their own cards. So you have a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So if you're playing with someone that's brand new or your kid, they're on beginner and maybe you're at intermediate, or maybe you're even playing on your own National Mahjong League card. So I love Mini Major for that. They've done a great job with keeping true to the rules of the game, but also making it. And their tiles are kind of thin, easy, great for travel. There's travel sets that we carry as well. For accessories, like Creative Co-op even I have like a 3-tiered little candy stand that I don't know if you could see that in the back. But I love some of just the non-Mahjong pieces, but making them into tabletop. Hosting and entertaining is a huge part of this game, and that's a huge opportunity for retailers. So thinking beyond the mats and the tiles, but all of those little accessories. I was just at an open play the other night, and they had one of the jewelry boxes that I sell. It's a little peacock, and they had that as their dice their dice holders. Like how cute is that? So thinking a little bit beyond just the actual Mahjong branded products, because that's quite honestly, that's not for every customer either. Sometimes people don't want to have a hat that says Mahjong or a sweatshirt or socks, and they want more, other accessories. Taylor Palladino, I think is his name. He is a watercolor artist. He's done some collaborations with tile sets, but he has some great little like notepads and those little fun post-it notes. I just brought in something from E. Francis Paper. All the little cute like notepads and things I think are great giftables for.
Rosanna Beck also had Rosanna, have you bought over to Rosanna Beck, any of you guys?
I haven't.
She's an amazing illustrator. She does, I actually have one of her desk pads. Like her illustrations are so gorgeous. And she does everything from little notepads to placemats to roller paper. But her illustrations are gorgeous. So talking about paper products, but she like I can't get over her illustrations, and she does them. It's all hand done herself. They're amazing, and they are all super whimsical and sweet. But she's got a pretty big Mahjong collection, and paper and napkins are one of the big sellers as well. Because in the entertaining factor, it's like everybody needs a napkin for your cocktail.
Greeting cards have been another like
Hey.
product line. So greeting cards that have Mahjong, so color block letterpress and Abigail Jane. They have some really beautiful, like anything with Mahjong on it for a birthday card. I feel like that's been a really popular, and I have it styled not in my greeting card section, but with the Mahjong section. And I notice, and then some of the cute claw clips and things have done really well too. Like just gifts under 30, just quick little fun things.
Cute. Misty, what are your
Okay, so for like actual Mahjong stuff, oh my Mahjong, because they're just like Emily said, they're the OG. And so people know them, they love the quality of them. And I do think that have like being able to play with them at a lesson or an open play will help bridge that gap a little bit quicker for people so that they can touch and feel them. And then the other one that I'm starting to carry is called Lux Mahjong, and they're actually a tile company out of Arizona. So that's why I am choosing them because I have that local maker component, and they have like a Western set that has cactus on it that I think
cute?
will be into out here. So those are my two there. And then just kind of utilizing my local maker. But Emily, also a great point about creative co-op. I feel like they have a lot of things that could be used in Mahjong. They just have so many little trinket trays that could be great for dice. People want all the fun little gifty things that they can put on their table with it. And then the other thing I didn't mention is we do an add-on experience for our boot camps, open play, guided play, where they can pay an additional $12 and get an individual charcuterie board. And I have partnered with someone who does like a charcuterie business, and she's even getting into it. So she put cute little Mahjong picks inside the little things. So it's like this whole thing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you so much for all. You guys, one of the things I love about everyone that comes on this podcast is that my background from being in Fred Siegel, it was so competitive that no one spoke about like what works. No one wanted to spill the tea on anything. And thank you so much for spending an hour plus spilling the tea on something that, as a community in retail, that's only going to help other retailers. So thank you, because it's very uncommon. I guess it's not as uncommon as I think. I just think from my jaded background,
I think it is.
we just never did this. And it's lovely that you guys are here and like so freely give everyone so much information. I can't thank you enough for your time and for doing this. And I cannot wait, Emily, to interview you and hear deep dive more, or God, I can't even talk more into your business, because it sounds fascinating and like all the historical part of your buildings. Like, I just am so excited to have that conversation. But thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you. It was lovely
Thank
to meet you
you.
all.
Thank you. I think I'm having troubles.